ESO Personalised, proud sponsor of the Impacted podcast. Why not visit their website on www.esopersonalised.co.uk. Your brand is our business.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of T&I Impacted with your host, Bison, and as always, my co-host.
Coming up from the void and channeling professionalism from the empty space, it's the Joker.
Hi, mate. Hope you're well.
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
A little bit different today, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah. We're not. Neither of us have got the coronavirus, so we're okay, aren't we?
Oh yeah. What else I got to worry about is epilepsy. I'm right for anything else goes.
Okay, mate. No worries. Right. So Impacted is a T&I show where we exclusively discuss the incredible talents, characters of Impact Wrestling. We look into their past, their present, and predict their future. And this week, Joe, we are discussing
Jessicka Havok.
Yes, we are.
Pedestrian.
Oh, mate. What an incredible talent Jess is, eh? I've been looking forward to this one, actually, because I met Jess back in November at the New York tapings. We got a nice photo with her and stuff. And she was a really nice person. She came across really lovely. I then later I got her to do a cameo promo on me as well, which was a lot of fun. I did a response. I didn't get. I was hoping to see if she would respond, but just for a bit of fun. But she didn't. I suppose probably not something that she would do. But I thought I'd try and get some sort of response out of her, but never mind. I failed. It was an epic fail, Joe. Just completely failed.
Yeah.
I feel so.
It could have been worse.
You
could have got a tombstone, or you could have got chokeslammed by Havok. So I think I got it lightly.
Mate, I know she's a big, strong girl, but I'm not sure she could chokeslam me. I'm a big dude myself, but there you go. You never know. With a little bit of help, she could probably do it. You never know. Right now, getting on to Jess. She is Jessicka Havok. She is, I would say she's the she beast personally. She is she's a big, strong girl. The basic fact, she's 6 foot. So she's tall. She's strong, and she's quite a menacing character to be facing across the ring, isn't she?
Oh, she's got that fear factor, and she doesn't even have to really try. The height advantage is daunting. The size is daunting. The strength advantage she has over everybody else is absolutely amazing. She puts Ty Valkyrie and Jordan Grace to shame.
She does at times, definitely. I mean, she is so strong. And one of the things that always amazed me about her as well is that she could definitely move for a bigger woman, can't she?
Oh yeah, she's just another proof that it doesn't matter how big you are in the modern day of wrestling. If you want to push yourself to run, jump, fly around as much as you like, she can do it if she needs to. She's really built a power game for herself, and that's the style she will stick to.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I have noticed with her is because she's so menacing, she really uses her kind of like vocal and the faces and she's like, if you were across the ring from her and she starts screaming at you and pulling those faces of I'm about to destroy you. I think that'd strike fear into anybody, wouldn't it?
Oh, it sends chills down my spine. I'd be back against the corner if I was across the ring from her trying to jump out.
Absolutely incredible. Now, a lot of her early career, I think she debuted as a pro around about 2004. So she's been around quite some time, and she's worked for like some of her early career stuff. Some of the promotions she's been with: MCW, CAPW, OCW, MEWL, WSU, NCW, CZW, as well as Shine and Shimmer. And Wow as well, which is another show, the Women of Wrestling show on Access, actually on Saturday night. So she's on that one, as well as still currently, I believe, on WoW as well. So and she's won championships in pretty much every single promotion that she's ever been in, and I think that's a testament to her talent, and her ability to be able to really connect as a heel, especially with the crowd. Do you think?
Oh, she's a just listening to that, it's a fantastic past. She's been against some of the best in the business. She's been against ODB, Sienna, Mia Yim.
Yeah.
She's been Marty Bell. She's been against a lot of people who've come through Impact and gone on elsewhere before they've made a big name for themselves. So she's been through a lot of people. She's even going against Sami Callihan that often at Wrestling Revolver now. So she's made herself a mainstay superstar wherever she goes.
Yeah, I think again though, I think we've got that pattern there, haven't we? With all of the Impact female knockouts, they've all got experience of working with men, haven't they?
Yeah, Jessicka Havok is one that will just take on anybody, no shits given. I'll destroy you if I can. I'll destroy you because I can. I was going to say if, but she will destroy you.
If and when. Yeah, I mean, she is one hell of a talent. And of course, she actually had a run in TNA from 2014 to 2015, where she basically she had a run in. She became Knockouts champ. So she is actually a one-time Knockouts champion as well. She was pretty much the whole of 2014. She was a Knockouts champ. She then went on and had a tryout in 2015 over at WWE. Obviously, they decided she wasn't for her, so she carried on doing the things that she does. I think that probably Jess was a little bit too much. Same as same as Su Yung that we were discussing, a couple of weeks back. That at the end of the day, that kind of style of character, I don't think would necessarily work in WWE.
They'd bury her more than
they would.
else.
They would bury her. I think she just isn't what the type of character that they would put on WWE TV. I don't know. You may have seen her on NXT for a short while, but I don't think, and that's not down to her. It's not down to her talent level. It's not down to her skill. It's not down to her ability on the ring. It's just the character that she is would be so toned down, on WWE that she would just wither away into the background. It wouldn't stand out anymore. I think, so I'm actually so pleased that she never ended up at WWE. And I'm not sure, but as we're all aware, I think Jess is with her boyfriend is Sami Callihan. So I'm not sure, maybe that was when she met Sami. I don't know. It may have been around about that time that they got together. I don't know, but because I think that's when Sami was there also around that time, wasn't it? He was on the NXT brand at that time.
I think he was. Yeah, he was there. EC3 was there. I'm sure someone can correct.
The old Solomon Crow thing, wasn't it? Or was it Solomon Crow? I don't know. I can't remember. But
I never saw Sami Callihan on NXT properly. I know he was there as Solomon Crow, only through what other people have told me, but I've never actually seen what he did. But
to be honest with you, I think I only ever saw him on there once. I mean, I'm not a massive WWE fan, as we all know. I don't tend to watch the product. However, I do catch NXT from time to time because, I think that the NXT brand is actually really good. So because it's not the same as SmackDown and Raw, it's not the same as what you would see primarily on the children's channels. Sorry, I have to get that in there.
Oh, it's the kiddie circus.
Yeah, the kiddie circus. So, effectively, at the end of the day, characters like Sue, Havok, Sami, people like that are never going to get over in you know, on brands like WWE, because what they do and what they do so well is not. It's not conducive to what they want to portray, what the type of product they want to protect. So it's never going to work.
Yeah. I think they've got to look at Matt Hardy.
Yeah, exactly. So me as a you know, an older wrestling fan, you know, I mean, I'm 45 years old. I've been enjoying wrestling for the best part of 30 years. You know, so I'm so glad that we have products out there like Impact, you know, and dare I say AEW, because I do watch a bit of AEW as well. It's not my first brand. Impact is my first brand, 110%. However, I'm one of those that feel that, you know, just because you watch WWE doesn't mean to say you can't watch other promotions, or because I'm an AEW fan, I can't watch Impact, or because I'm an Impact fan, I can't watch anything else. I feel that if you are a pro wrestling fan, then, you know, you can watch multiple promotions, you can support all of them and enjoy everything that they do. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you will enjoy everything. Now, for me, I just don't enjoy SmackDown or Raw. I just don't. And so I just don't watch it. And I don't generally slag it off. I just don't talk about it. You know, and it comes up on the odd occasion, like I've done now. And I will put a little diss in there every now and again, but it's not. It's just that it's not for me. You know, I'm just not into that kind of wrestling. I prefer what we're getting now from companies like Impact, AEW. That's what I prefer. You know, with Impact being my number one promotion that I watch week in, week out without fail. All the other promotions that I like, yes, I watch them, but I don't necessarily watch them every single week. But I make time to ensure that I watch my favorite, which is Impact. Sorry. You know, yeah, because you know, all we've got on our mind at the moment, Joe, and is making the show better. So all I keep thinking about is Impacted all the time. But yeah, so that's the way I work, and I'm so glad that Impacted bring in talents like Sammy and Jessicka and Sue, you know, and Rosemary and stuff. You know, again, another talent that would probably not work on the current you know, Northern product. So I think that, you know, I'm pleased that, you know, and I'm over the moon that we get to see, you know, Jess pretty much every single week, because at the end of the day, since she re-debuted in July 2019, she's pretty much been on every week, I think. I honestly cannot think of a week that we haven't seen Jess in some form. Do you agree?
Yeah, she came back with James Mitchell, so you knew immediately then that if she wasn't going to be in a match, she would at least crop up in a promo, or at least be mentioned at some point by Rosemary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the interesting thing. Sorry, go on.
So Jessicka Havok is basically fallen into the same role Su Yung has. With if she's not on screen, she's still there, and it's just clever writing. It's just how you keep someone relevant.
The only thing I would say, is that I don't think they let her speak enough, because I think she's pretty good. I mean, I've seen her in other promotions talking on the mic, doing promos and stuff, and actually she's really good at it. So I think, you know, I don't think they let her speak enough. I think they use James to almost be the mouthpiece for. I mean, he's amazing, James Mitchell. I mean, James Mitchell is an incredible talker, a great manager, and a great storyteller. So, you know, when you put people like Sue, who is supposed to not, her character is about minimal talking, and I suppose they're trying to do something similar with Havok, I guess. So, you know, she's not about talking or anything. She's about business. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of,
yeah.
She's there basically to destroy and you know kick ass. I mean, that's what she's there for, to look menacing, be mean, and get out there and kick everyone's ass. That's effectively what that's the characters that they're portraying. But yeah, no, when she debuted, she debuted with the Sinister Minister James Mitchell, and she interrupted a match between Rosemary and Taya. Now, she actually attacked them both. I mean, she had no preference. She's quite happy to beat anybody up. And then after that, it was revealed that she had joined forces with James and, of course, the beautiful Su Yung. We then had sort of kind of a lot of backstage stuff. We had a few Vignette stuff going on. We've had a few confrontations, etc. But that then led to what I would say is probably one of the best knockouts matches I've seen for quite some time, and that was the 4-way Monsters Ball at Slammiversary. What did you think of that?
I was a bit critical of it at first, mostly because I didn't think it lasted as long as it should have done. But you look back at the match. You look back at the match now, and you can see Rosemary was still a bit injured, so there wasn't much she could do. But Jessicka Havok and Taya Valkyrie really carried that match for quite a while, and that Jessicka Havok destroying Su Yung with that tombstone power driver off the turnbuckle onto the tacks was fantastic, and you really thought Jessicka Havok had that match won until that chair comes out of nowhere, it smacks her in the side of the face. You could tell that none of them were holding back in that match at all, and that's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see from all four of them, was that, because Taya Valkyrie for a while was holding back a lot too. And even though Rosemary was injured, so you would expect her to hold back. She gave it a roll, and you got to see that nasty side of Su Yung again.
I think the thing is, though, is when you're going to do, if you're going to commit to a match like a Monsters Ball, or at the end of the day, it's a full on hardcore, street fight, whatever you want to call it, with a fancy name. But the bottom line is, if you're going to commit, whether you're a male or a female, to a Monsters Ball match, then you've got to commit to it, right? You've got to give it absolutely everything. I was going to say balls to the wall, but we can't really say that about ladies. But kind of balls to the wall, go for it, And you obviously you have to protect each other, but at the same time, you have to literally go for it, so that you cannot, at the end of it, have people say, "Oh, it was a bit rubbish because it was, it was girls holding back. They weren't going for it like the men would." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All the usual rubbish that you seem to get from the idiotic male people that don't seem to appreciate what it takes to do these things. But at the end of the day, they went for it, and for me, it always reminded me of Maximus from Gladiator. You could almost have them stand in the middle of the ring and just go, "Were you not entertained? Are you entertained?" You know what I mean? Like, kind of, because believe me, that match for me was one hell of a match, and the four people that were in that match gave everything. And like you said, Jess looked really strong. She looked like the beast she is, didn't she?
Oh, Jessicka, I thought she had that match won. I really thought. Yeah. I wasn't expecting Taya to drop the title easily, and in that match, if she'd lost, it wouldn't have been dropping it easily, because Su Yung would have taken the pin for a start off. But if Jessicka Havok had won that title in that match, I wouldn't have been complaining at all, because Havok and Taya Valkyrie were starting to really build something as well. And then they had Su Yung constantly holding Havok back, which is why they got involved in the match in the first place. Because Havok and Su Yung were fighting amongst themselves, and so James Mitchell said, "Fine, all three of you are going in this match," and Taya Valkyrie busting out, and it was brilliant.
But I think the idea was, what the idea was supposed to be, though, was that Sue was going to support Jess, wasn't it? I think that's what's supposed to happen. And of course that didn't happen, because Sue wanted to win that title for herself. She didn't want, to help somebody else win it. What the hell, So, and I think so. Obviously, Taya retained, and then what we then saw was basically that Havok, once we we saw it straight away that Havok was clearly not impressed with Sue, not impressed at all with Su Yung. which of course then led to the continuation of that storyline where, you've almost got this kind of like, well, actually, I'm the top dog. No, I'm the top dog type scenario going on between the two of them, didn't you?
Yeah, it was great. And James Mitchell was more focused on getting them to fight, to just stop Rosemary, and they were fighting amongst themselves. And it intertwined all the rivalry between Rosemary and Su Yung and Havok back together without breaking it off. So it was just, again, testament to Impact for clever
Story.
production, clever story development.
Yeah, and again, we had a lot of backstage stuff. We had a lot of big nuts. It's the way that they filmed it with the sort of kind of like, sinister reddy colouring and all the different big nuts and the backstage stuff that you've got to see. It proper set the tone. And I think that, they all, I mean, Jess always, is very good at doing the faces, isn't she? So you get like James doing a load of speaking, and then it always seems to pan to Jess's face, and she's like,
she's furious.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, she's like the angry one kind of thing. And I think that, again, it's all about sort of kind of, you've got your mouthpiece, and then you've got this, and then you've got this sort of kind of angry beast that just wants to destroy everybody. And I think that's the character that they were trying to build with Jessicka. And to be fair, it's worked really, really well, hasn't it?
Oh, it is faultless, really. They say actions speak louder than words. James Mitchell was the words, and Jessicka Havok was the actions.
Yeah, exactly.
The only problem for James Mitchell is it backfired on him because Jessicka Havok ended up destroying Su Yung. So his actions ended up biting him on the ass, and then
So all of that can go on. I mean, one thing I've noticed. I mean, we don't get masses. We haven't had so far masses of matches with Jess, but we've seen a lot of character-driven work, a lot of backstage stuff. She's always involved. Don't get me wrong. She's had several matches, but in every single match, she's generally pretty dominant, isn't she?
Yeah. I'd like to see a lot more really, really challenging matches with Jessicka Havok now that things have moved on a bit more. I think it's time to get her more in the ring now.
I mean, obviously we've had the news this week with regards to Sue becoming the free agent. Maybe if Sue does move on, then it opens up the opportunity for Jessicka to now start moving forward as her own character, which I think would be a really good thing for her. And actually, when you think about it, it's also a really good thing for Impact too. Massive fan of Sue, really am. And if she does go elsewhere for a little while, I'd really, it wouldn't bother me too much, but as long as it's left open so that she can return at a later date, I think that would be awesome, because let's face the facts, her character has been built through Impact Wrestling, and it wouldn't be at the height that it is at the moment if it wasn't for her. I mean, look at the production value of Sue's entrance, at the Vegas tapings. I mean, that was probably one of the best entrances, for me, apart from Moose maybe, of any Impact talent. It was an incredible entrance, and they really have invested in her, in her character and everything that she does, with the bridesmaids and and everything else, the coffins and God knows what else that they've invested in. They really have invested in the production of that character. So I hope that if she does go, which is not certain yet, but if she does, then there's always that opportunity for her to return in a big way, with big production and all the rest of it. I think it worked really, really well. But I do think it would also open up the door for us to enjoy a lot more of Jessicka Havok.
Definitely. I was talking to you about some of the worries I have for some of the talent at the moment, long term. So I agree with you. It breaks off the undead war now for a bit. I'd left a comment. I'd left a comment on the Su Yung video if you guys want to check it out with some of my concerns about it. But I did say in there, if Su Yung is going to go, they need to break off Rosemary and Jessicka Havok, and they've already started to break Rosemary off now because she's going on with Taya Valkyrie somewhere. So they've already hit one of the concerns I've had on their head already. Really, that they've made it clear that this is going to be the end of the Undead War for a while. So if Su Yung comes back, they're going to get a massive pop if Su Yung comes back, and who it affects, if it's Jessicka Havok or it's Rosemary or if it's someone new, they're going to blow the roof off if Sue comes back.
Yeah, of course. And the bottom line is, you can't always continue a storyline forever and ever and ever. These you have to. There has to come a point where you say, okay, well, we need to break away from that for a bit. Yeah, it's been really successful. Everyone's enjoyed it. That's great. But if we cut it off now, people are not going to start getting fed up with it and bored with it, then have enough of it, so that we can never bring it back. So I think
just like Sami Callihan.
Exactly. Sammy's gone. We haven't seen Sammy for ages, but we are missing him, right? I mean, I miss him.
I miss him.
I was like, Sammy is my favorite. Like, he is my ultimate favorite heel in the industry. Because he truly becomes the detestable human being that he is when he becomes the heel, the Sami Callihan, the wrestling Sami Callihan. He proper engrossed himself in that character, whatever character it is he's playing, but the detestable Sami, everyone wants to see him, the draw, everyone wants to see what he's going to do next, kind of thing, I mean, for him to then go away for a little bit, we need time to miss him so that when he comes back, you get this huge pop, and I think that's going to be, when that happens, that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm assuming he's not going to come back to Rebellion, but we'll see, won't we?
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I think moving forward, I mean, she's had a few, like I say, she's had a few matches. She had a match with at the New York tapings, actually, just before the turn of 2020, with Rosemary, which was she won. It was a good match. Again, Rosemary's not at full power. She at that moment she was not. You could tell that she wasn't going 100%. She was probably about 80-85%, I would say, at that time. Still testing her meat suit out, I think. But yeah, she got a bit of a beating from Jess. And then we move into 2020, whereby again that character driving is moving forward. However, actually I've just glossed over the hanging of Sue, haven't I? So Jess obviously ended up with a one-on-one, ended up hanging Sue, which then led to turning into the Susie character. But of course, when Susie came back, it was all about trying to avoid the fact that she learning about what Jess had done to her and what James and Jess was a part of. And I thought the way that they sort of did the whole she touched things and it sort of kind of like got memories and all the rest of it. Anyway, eventually leading to her realizing in 2020, eventually her leading to realizing that it was Jess that hung her, and then we ended up with a big fight, another big character sort of kind of scenario. We had flashbacks, we had Vignet, we had all sorts of stuff going on, didn't we? Which I think, great. Yeah. I mean, when the episode in Mexico, when they sort of kind of like brought that to a head, which was probably, it was a great place to do it because obviously the hanging and etc. that all took place at the previous set of Mexico tapings. So I think it was a good plan to sort of kind of make it reveal, and obviously with the stairs and it all happened on, and I think that worked really, really well.
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean when Jess sort of kind of like came up the stairs quickly and found Sue there, and then she finally realised that it was Jess. I think that was a really cool moment. Obviously, that then led to the more recent one-on-one that we ended up having, where obviously Sue wanted to give Jessicka an outright beating, trying to get her into the coffin, which of course didn't quite pan out, and then led to the latest episode where Jessicka ended up putting Sue in the coffin. So how do you think that storyline sort of kind of worked out?
I was hoping that Su Yung and Jessicka Havok would have been fighting out a bit longer, and the killing off of Su Yung would have ended in a proper match. I thought, well, it was understandable that it was coming to an end regardless. It still felt so sudden to just suddenly cut her off like that. It's like how Brian Cage left and Johnny Impact left. It seemed so sudden and
it's done. Yeah. I think it's strange though. I mean, the thing is, I'm not 100% sure that's the last we're going to see of her, because if rumors are right, she was at the last set of tapings. Now, whether she's going to be included in some Undead round vignettes or some sort of stuff gets filmed there or what, I don't know. Or maybe she was just there to have a meeting with Impact Management.
Probably.
I mean, but she was there. Or, and it's not like she was there supporting Rich, because obviously Rich is not around at the moment either. So, but she was there. So she was there for some reason. So I still believe that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a bit more of Sue. And even, I don't know. I guess in between the two sets of tapings, the discussions have been ongoing on where, what's going to happen with Sue. But like I said, I think that if she goes, I'm going to be okay with it, because I think it opens up the door for talents like Jessicka to then really come into her own. Let's face the facts. She is a veteran of the industry. She deserves, a big push on Impact TV. Do you think?
Oh yeah, this is another point I'd raised on the Su Yung video. We got veterans coming back. We got Rhino. We got Jessicka Havok coming back. Rosemary's a veteran as well. There's nothing stopping these people getting another title run, and I think it's one thing that Impact really does need to start considering again. I know we've got the young talent now in the spotlight, which is fantastic, but don't ignore OVE, don't ignore Jessicka Havok, don't ignore Rosemary, don't ignore Moose. Moose, Moose might not have been a world champion, but he was a 2-time grand champion. I
mean,
they need some merit, because I think this is one of the reasons why Su Young's considered leaving, because she doesn't see another knockout title in her sight. So if she's staying for the sake of staying, and it's just going to bring the Undead War to an anti-climax more than anything else. So Su Yung leaving in some ways is a smart move. So, which is why I'm not overly in tears about it. I'm just a bit sad to see her go.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't feel, or what I don't see though, like I can't see Sue turning up on any other big promotion, and not because she's not an amazing talent, or she's not amazing at what she does, but purely and simply because I just don't think that the character that she's built now would necessarily work in some other promotions. Maybe she could turn up on the Dark Order. I don't know. I mean, there is possibilities in there, I guess. But for me, I just don't think that the character that she's built, the talent level that she's at, would necessarily push her as much as Impact have.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of Su Young's matches where other promotions. She's so over with crowd with the character she is now. I think she's going to do what Casey Spinelli is doing and what Kylie Ray is doing, and just stick to more indie promotions that will take her on. Not to make it sound cheap. It's just what's going to work. What's going to work better for her? Because she goes to NWA. If she goes to AEW, they're going to have to reset her character, which it's going to be frustrating for Su Yung. It's going to be quite hard for production to get a character over again. And going back to the WWE and what we did with Matt and Jeff Hardy, They tried to rebuild the broken Harleys, and it fell flat on its face.
I just don't think. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that it does open up the door for people like Jessicka Havok, and maybe they are planning on bringing in somebody else. Maybe Kaylee Ray, for instance, is almost sort of kind of so they're taking it in a slightly. Maybe they're looking to take it in a slightly different direction. Maybe bringing in Smiley Kylie is the way it needs to go. Take it away from this sort of kind of undead realmy type scenario. There's like you say, it's done really, really well. It's very, very popular. But then let's almost sort of kind of give it a little bit of closure for a while. James Mitchell's obviously disappeared. He's got a lot of things, I believe, going on in the background. So maybe, that, like you say, that opens it up now for Jessicka to become the beast that she is. I can see the way things are going at the moment, that they're possibly looking at starting up a tag division. Now, a Knockouts tag division. If they're planning on doing that, well, it looks like you've got Rosemary and Taya looking to, form a partnership.
That's the dream team.
Yeah. I could see someone like Kylie and Kira Hogan together.
Definitely.
Could you imagine, like, I don't know, Jessicka, and then bringing in, a talent like, I don't know, Nevaeh, for instance. Dave, is it Dave or Jake's Christmases? Nevaeh.
Yeah.
To be her partner, or I don't know. There's lots of opportunities, or maybe it's Jessica's time to become Knockouts champion. Maybe what they maybe they're partnering up people like Rosemary and Taya to give them a title. To create something else to look at, to give them another focus. Because at the moment, unless you're interested in becoming world's champion, then you've only got the one sort of sole women's championship, the Knockouts title, and only one knockout can hold that at a time. And you can only do so much with it. But when you've got,
I'd like to see the Knockouts tag titles come back. I never got to see them in full force. So if they're planning on doing a tag division for the women wrestlers, or put them against the men, then I'll be up for it.
Yeah, I think it'd be really good. Maybe that's what they're looking at doing. Maybe they're looking to do exactly the same with the tag belts as they've done with the world's title. Maybe the Knockouts title will be the title to go, and rather than necessarily having gender-related titles, we end up with just everybody able to go for the title. So the title is the World Championship. The title is the Tag Team titles. You've got the X Division Championship. Maybe they'll add like a television title or something like that to replace the Knockouts title. And then, but anyone can go for anything. So you could have a woman or a man TV champ. You could have tag team champs being female or male. Anyone could go for any title. The possibilities that opens up is insane. And it opens up for so many kind of like world firsts or exclusives or whatever it is that they want to do. Or is that the wrong way to go? Is it been that we've created this whole scenario now whereby everyone can go for whatever title? Like Jessicka Havok, we're making an awesome world title, world champion.
Yeah, it depends on the superstar's preference as well, really, if they're comfortable doing it or not. Because Eddie Edwards isn't 100% comfortable with wrestling women, but he's willing to go against Tessa Blanchard, and Moose is the same. He's said in an interview recently he won't go against Tessa Blanchard because it's just unbelievable him facing her. He'd rather go against someone like Eddie Edwards, Madman Fulton, and Michael Elgin, have all three of them face each other, and if he's going to become world champion. And I could see the same with Havok. Moose might go against Havok, but I don't think he'd be 100% backing it, because he sees himself as a superior athlete, not to make him sound like a narcissist or anything. But he wants to keep that balance between pushing an idea for the sake of pushing it, and keeping some sort of tradition. And Impact's got to be careful not to now push the boundary too much with over equality.
Over equality. I get it. Ovary. I get it.
Well, that wasn't. I wasn't trying to make a joke out of it. Because you can keep putting the points across, and then people are going to get sick of hearing about it. They've got to be careful with what we've tested Blanchard being world champion, because people are going to get a bit pissed off of hearing about how she's the first woman to win the world championship.
Eventually
some are already, but some just don't like it. Yeah.
Eventually, you've got to move on. It's once it's been done, and then you move on. And if you can do a couple of more firsts or whatever, then great. But eventually, it's got to come to an end, and you've got to sort of kind of like move on. And like you say, it's a bit of a two-edged sword, isn't it? Because you're sort of you've got the people that don't like it, that you're almost pushing away, and then you've got the people that love it that are watching. So it's kind of it's a two-edged sword, really. You've got to try and get in the middle, so that you're drawing everybody in. What I often say to people is, if there's certain aspects of the show you don't like, just turn it off for 10 minutes and then switch it back on and watch the rest. That's the way I feel about it. Because just because one aspect of the show you're not keen on doesn't mean that the rest of the show is shit. It's like there's so much really good shit going on that you're actually missing out just because you don't like that 15-minute segment of the show.
For one thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I feel about it. I mean, moving forward with Jessicka, I think that she's got an amazing character anyway. She looks amazing in she goes all out with her her costuming and her her hair with the old the big old mohawk thing going on, and the green
gothic look.
Yeah, the gothic look. She looks great. Totally engrossed in the characterization that she's there to portray. And I just think moving forward, we're going to see more of her. I think we're going to start seeing we're going to see her hopefully talking more. We're going to get a bit more sort of kind of promo stuff out of her. We're going to see a lot more Jess in the ring. We're going to see her being quite dominant, I think, and I really hope that that's what we start to see. Because I think if anyone can possibly take that title away from Jordynne Grace, it's Havok.
Definitely. Jessicka Havok and Jordynne Grace had a fantastic match at Sacrifice. So just to see that rekindled, that would be good. And Jessicka Havok and Jordynne Grace are very, very evenly matched. If they're not going to have Jessicka Havok go for it, then have Jessicka Havok go for it, and really, really push a rivalry between them two.
Yeah, I think that would make an amazing feud as well, because the pair of them are so strong. I mean, don't get me. I mean, Jessica's bigger than Jordynne, but Jordynne is, as we all know, is big mama pump. So we've got the girl is seriously strong. So between the two of them, I think you could have a really a really interesting and intense battle and feud for me to eventually lead to Jessicka possibly taking that title. I don't know whether, I mean, that for me, that's the kind of future I'd like to see.
It's a different situation for me. If they're not going to get Kira Hogan in the title pictures, then get Jessicka Havok in, and then you can get Jordynne Grace to get back off of her. There's nothing wrong with. I've mentioned like multiple championship wins before. There's nothing wrong with having Jessicka Havok win it and then having Jordynne Grace win it back off of her.
Well, I've heard, again, she could win it back, or we could have, you could have a bit of to and from. But what I do see is if they are looking to introduce this female tag division, I've heard a little rumor that Tessa and Jordynne have been pitching the idea of them becoming a tag team.
Yeah, I saw that last year. They put it out as a hypothetical question. What if we team together? And yeah. I was very similar idea. As soon as that popped out, I thought that'd be fantastic because those two are amazing wrestlers. and to have them go together, they could probably knock out the Jesse Hit squad. Not sure there, but if Kacinda Singh wasn't there instead of Shearer, they could have been flattened by Tessa Blanchard and George Grace.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
No disrespect to Rohit Raju. Please don't come and cannibal me, because I'm a big fan.
Yeah, Rohit is incredible, and I actually think Rohit is going to go. He's going to break away from the Desi Hit squad fairly soon.
I think he needs to.
I think he does as well, and to be honest, it would be amazing. I mean, I'd like to see Kareem come in, which is his partner in AAW, but that's another subject. We'll get to Rohit at a later date. Now, yeah, I think moving forward, I think Jess has definitely. She's probably got her sights on the world title, and I think she deserves a push. She deserves a push now. So, like you say, if Sue's gone, let's see a real big push for Jessicka Havok. She's incredible talent. She's great on the mic, amazing in the ring. She's a veteran. She can carry it. She's already held it once, so she's got the credentials. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see some point in the next 12 months, Jessicka Havok as the Knockouts champion. You heard it here first. Exclusive impacted prediction.
Scott and Don, if you're listening, I hope you are. Do it.
Do it. So, so that's led us really to the end of the show. And, obviously, Jessica's only been with the brand now since July last year. So we're not even heading into a year. So we didn't quite have as much to discuss about Jessicka. But the main thing is that, she's an incredible talent. We're happy and to have her on the Impact roster. And we cannot wait to see where she goes in the future.
She got I think biggest pop of 2019 alongside Reina coming back and Rosemary. When Jessicka Havok came out on that ramp, and the crowd just went absolute batshit crazy, and I did too. And I hadn't seen much of Havok before then, but I knew a lot about her. When she came out and she started bobbing up and down in that ring, I went absolutely mad. So I was really excited to see Jessicka Havok back. So welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So anyway, so we do need to wrap up, actually. We do need to wrap the show up now. We've been going for, getting on for 15 minutes now, so we do need to wrap up. I just want to say, don't forget, we're available wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, SoundCloud, all the different podcast channels that you're listening to. Or if you want to see our lovely content, our lovely boats, our lovely faces, sorry, a little bit of Cockney slang there, our lovely faces, then don't forget all of our content's on YouTube each and every Wednesday with fresh new content. Make sure that you head over to the TNI page, hit subscribe, smash the bell to never miss.
Smash the bell, guys.
Definitely, to never miss any of the great content from Total Nonstop Impact. Don't forget, we've got the weekly review show, which goes live every single Thursday, as well as the TNI throwback show. The TNA throwback show, where they discuss all, some of the. I think in the moment they're, on about episode 12, I think, of the original, the first sort of kind of the start of TNA NWA or NWA TNA as it was back then. They're working their way through. They're doing a great job on that. So, don't hesitate to check that out. There's some good content too. And of course, TNI is the home of this incredible podcast, Impacted. So don't forget to give us a find. Check out everything that we do. I do want to say a big shout out and a big thank you to ESO Personalized, the show sponsor, for supporting us. And we'd like to say thank you for our gifts, because I don't know if you noticed, we are supporting these fantastic baseball caps. And they also sent out Joey's own T-shirt. Look at that. How cool is that? The Joker, eh? Yeah. Also, a fantastic T-shirt, which is great to see. Don't forget to check out their website. That's www.esopersonalized.co.uk. A fantastic supporter of our show, and we do appreciate that, definitely. We certainly appreciate our gifts. They're fabulous. So so Joe, I think that pretty much leads us into wrapping up. So as long as you guys are out there subscribing, then that's all that I care about. So as I say, this has been Bison.
This has been the Joker.
And this has been Impacted.